Democrats still think they know what's best when it comes to your kids' education. A proposed bill in Georgia wants to give parents more say in which schools their kids go to. But a Democrat lawmaker says not so fast. She thinks some moms and dads are too stupid to know what's best.
A lot of those parents did not finish high school. I am extremely concerned that we would put money in their hands in that entire piece of life in the hands of parents who are not qualified to make those decisions, and they don't have the money to put in the difference that their child would need to attend a private school.
You know, that is so shocking. It is so disgusting. I can't even, and I'm not. I'll ask what your opinion is on that, Brian.
Well, I'll tell you what, we played this morning on Fox and Friends, and I couldn't believe it. Look into her background. She feels as though if a parent doesn't have a higher education, they're not qualified to pick the curriculum and write school for their kids, so we'll do it. We care about your kids more than you do, which is a no-go zone. Some of the smartest people I know have the least education. Formal education. Number two, Arkansas, Utah, Iowa, Arizona, they all have school choice. I hope more and more states follow that. Just empower the families to make the choice and let them make decisions for their kids. You're always better off.
You know, Jesse, to me, this seems like, you know, it's the teachers union, the public schools. It's all about the money, and they're in it together. And, you know, the truth is that those public schools are the ones that are failing. And this legislator has the absolute nerve to say, if you didn't graduate from high school, I mean, some of the smartest people I know didn't graduate from high school and are making millions and billions.
Billions? Right?
Yes.
Who?
I'll tell you later.
So the way they make money in the state of Georgia, they take the total number of public school students, and then they take all of the public school teachers, and that's how they determine teacher salaries. So if more poor kids get these vouchers to go to charter schools, that's less amount of total public school students. That's their salaries go lower. That's what this is about.
Okay, Dana.
Well, the first thing I thought of when I heard this was I do believe that every parent wants the very best for their children. And I thought about Senator Tim Scott. So he writes in his book about his grandfather who did not go to high school. And one of the things he used to do is he would make sure his kids did the homework, and then he would sit there with the newspaper and he would hold it at the kitchen table and he would just be looking at the newspaper. He couldn't read.
Yeah.
And his grandson became a U.S. senator. So I think that there's not a better animating force in politics right now than children's education and parental rights. And if you just look in Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin won that race largely on that issue. It wasn't about a political curriculum. It was about parental choice. And then there's a group called, I'm sorry, I wrote it down right here, Parents Defending Education. In every one of their polls, they have 71% of voters opposing, for example, withholding information about a child's gender from the parents. 75% want schools to require teachers or staff to inform parents if their child wants to change their names and pronouns. That's the kind of thing that parents want control over, and they want the best for their children. So I understand. I also don't think that, I don't want to impugn the motives of the legislator. I assume that she also wants the best for her children and for the children of her state. I just think she's wrong.
I'm impugning.
Well, the irony, the irony of this, Jessica, is that she sent her own kids to private school, and yet she deigns to speak on behalf of parents who, you know, have their kids in public schools. When 78%, got to read the package, 78% of the kids in those Atlanta schools tested below the proficiency level for math. So maybe the teachers ought to focus on being better teachers.
I think the fact, actually, that her kids went to private school backs up her perspective on this. She was an educator for 30 years. She served on PTAs, school boards, worked in classrooms. And her argument is that you give money to people where the parents are going to be paying attention to make sure that they're on top of all of these things. So I don't think there's an inconsistency there. I do think, and you're right to bring up what Terry McAuliffe said in the race in Virginia, where he said, like, teachers are the ones who should be in charge of your kids. Like, these are sound bites of death for Democrats, right? You run those during the campaigns, and it's going to be a tremendous problem. And I do think coming out of the pandemic, where so many people had terrible educational outcomes and had to turn to pod learning, homeschooling, millions of kids disappearing from the public school system, that it is going to be on Democrats to have to make a very clear and potent case for why there shouldn't be a voucher system for $5,000, $6,000. I'm not saying that, every kid gets a free ride to the top private schools in the country, but when the public school system did fail so many, and if you are going to continue to advocate for that, and I think we all would agree that a strong public school system makes for the country better, but you're going to have to show up and defend that if vouchers are going to be available to people, why they should stay in the public schools.
Yep, absolutely.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.